We are 3 for 3. We're 3 for 3. What I was trying to say is that we are 3 for 3 with me out here looking crazy in this damn bonnet and in this shirt. I don't care though. Hello, this is another vlog. I already know what I'm going to start this vlog out by reading. I'm going to be probably juggling a few books. So if I don't finish anything by the end of this this vlog, I shouldn't even be mad, to be completely honest with you. But I have a biker romance. It's like a dystopian. I think it's a dystopian biker romance, which is crazy to even think of. So that's here. We've got Twilight, which is here as well. And I think that's it, to be completely honest with you. I think that's it. If I add anything else, I'll let you know. But today is Saturday, March 14th. Saturday, March 14th. And we're going to read, or we might do this vlog until next Saturday. Maybe the same kind of way, so covering a 7-day period to see how much I can read my Kindle in 7 days.
There'll be no remnants, no trace, no residual feelings within you. Then you won't remember me. Your face will be the reason I smile, but I will not see what I cannot have forever. I'll always with you. I hope you feel the same. Oh, baby, dirty. Had to fill out my prescription, cause the remedy I had to set you free. Away from you to see clearly the way that love can be when you are not with me. I had to live, I had to live, I had to leave, I had to live. Love set you free to flap your pretty wings around. Wings, your pretty wings, your pretty wings, pretty wings. Love set you free to flap your pretty wings around. Wings, your pretty wings, your pretty wings. I came wrong, you were right. Transformed your love into life. Baby, believe me, I'm sorry I told you lies. I turned day into night, sleep in the night 1,000 times. I should have shown you better nights, better times, better days. I miss you more and more. As you let love song go through, your pretty wings are pretty wings, your pretty wings, your pretty wings, your pretty wings are.
Okay, so it's the next day. I finished what's the Steel Demon MCs. I finished that last night, and I started Magnolia Park's Into the Dark today. I'm 111 pages into that. I'm probably going to read some more before I go to bed, so I'll probably be a wee bit further tomorrow. I probably won't do another update unless I begin reading something else. I did rant about Jessa Hastings before and her writing style. I still think that she could be a really, really good writer. My issue with her writing is not necessarily that she's a bad writer. It's not that. It's the technicality of it and the grammar and the sentence structure and just stacking clause over clause over clause over clause, and it just doesn't make sense to, and it ends up making a very awkward, weird sounding sentence in a way that surpasses like colloquial language or syntax. You know what I'm saying? So it just feels awkward to say. Some things, it kind of, sometimes reading Jessa Hastings, like reading it, sight reading it, because I'm listening to the audiobook and I'm reading the book to have more of an immersive situation. And then when I'm doing things, I'm only listening to the, like, cooking dinner tonight, I was listening to the audiobook. Um, so it's easier to hear it being spoken. And this book in particular is very, very affecting. Let me look that up. Yeah, this book in particular is very affecting just because of the subject matter. So, you know, many times I felt myself just really connecting to the text of Magnolia Park's Long Way Home, or The Long Way Home, because I understand what Magnolia is going through, and Magnolia is a character that I have sympathized with from the very beginning of the series. I still feel like her friend group is shit, and she doesn't have any friends. She just has people that are around her, siphoning energy from her, but that's another topic for another time. But I am reading that and I'm enjoying it. It's just, and I do think that Jessa Hastings is a good writer, and she could be even better if she just worked on that technicality, or at least, at the very least, had a better editor. You know what I mean? Okay. Don't mind it. Don't mind the jump scare really quick. I'm still reading Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. And every time BJ is caught in a lie, he finds a way to blame Magnolia. He finds a way to blame Magnolia and her reaction, her grief, for his inability to man up and tell her the truth and tell her his desires and stand up for himself. So it's her fault that you're spineless when it comes to her, and that you're a liar. Okay. Okay, and while we're at it, it's just like, this is the reason why the Magnolia Parks series, at least Magnolia's other two books, just really made me upset, is because these two do not need to be together. This is not a romance. Magnolia Parks is not a romance. It's borderline just a big ass drama. It's a fucking soap opera is what it is. It's not a romance, because Magnolia and BJ should not be together. They both have problems that they need to work out in therapy, and BJ went to therapy and he's still an idiot. It's weird. And so I can't root for them. I'm like actively being like, maybe Magnolia should be with somebody else, somebody better for her, somebody that she doesn't have in history with. But at the same time, I think that she should probably be single. She should probably just be single and like completely forget about BJ. Like, cold turkey, just drop him out of her life and like leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? Just realistically, like, if this was real life and if these were real people, that's what I would say. Like, you should probably maybe cold turkey. You know what I'm saying? My mask is disintegrating, so I'm gonna go wash that off. Okay, hi. So it's been 7 days now since I started the video. I didn't get a lot of film this week because I just have not felt like filming, and I just kind of wanted to read my books and like not film as I was doing so. But for this week, I ended up reading 2 novellas, or at least one short novel and then a novella, and then I read almost 50% of Magnolia, if not more than 50%, maybe it's even 60% of Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. I'm still reading that. And then yesterday I started Creed by let's see what the author's name is. Creed, A King Family Saga by India Ray. And I read only because I started this at the beginning of the year in January, and then I just kind of put it down and never picked it back up. So I'm picking it up now because I really want to read it, and the premise seems very interesting. So I started on like page 19 in chapter 3 yesterday. And now I'm on chapter 6, page 38. So this week I ended up reading 204 page novella, The Steel Demons. I'll put it here. And then the second thing I read to completion was Oops, I Summon Elidark. I don't remember the name. Here you go. And then I've been reading throughout this, well, not throughout the whole week. I started Magnolia Parks like in the middle of the week, probably like on Wednesday. So I got 447 pages in there, so more than halfway through. And then I started Creed yesterday and got 38 pages into that. Put it on the screen so you can see the total for the week. I did do some listening on my Audible for Magnolia Parks, so that when I was cooking, doing whatever, I could listen to it and not not have to not read it, I guess. But most of my reading I did on my Kindle. I guess I would say I did an equal amount of reading on my Kindle as I did via listening to audio. Because sometimes I would do like reading along. So I think I did an equal amount of Kindle reading as I did listening. I read both of those novellas on my Kindle, and then I'm reading Creed on my Kindle. And like I said, I did some immersive reading with Magnolia Parks. Let me tell you about Magnolia Parks and how that book again made me just so emotional and made me sob. And I can't even talk. And when and I feel like I'm getting emotional now, even thinking about it. Magnolia Parks is so very special to me. I talk shit about Jessa Hastings sometimes, but I love the way that she writes. I just wish that I just want for her to expose herself to literature because she is a fantastic writer. She is the perfect example of when Stephen King says that writers, the best writers, are good writers because they have a talent for it. It is a gift that they have. And you cannot work your way, learn your way, study your way into being a prolific author. It's something you either have or you don't. And you can become better as a writer by being literate and by studying English and by learning the technicality of writing. But the special gift for writing, the special gift of knowing how to string a sentence together is something that someone either has or they don't, a special spark. And I feel as though Jessa Hastings has that. And this is the second Magnolia Parks to really grate on my nerves, on my emotional little nerves, because I relate so much to Magnolia and I love her as a character. There are many parallels between my life and between her, like especially, obviously not as far as being a socialite and being British, but like my dynamics with my parents, my dynamics in the relationship, the one huge relationship I've ever been in, the longest relationship I've ever been in, dynamics like that, like to where it's like the girls that get it, and I get it a little bit too much. Okay, like too much. There are too many parallels, and while it can be comforting, it also is very difficult to read because, especially Magnolia's dynamic with her father. Yeah, that really did something to me. So all that said, because I don't want to cry on camera, all that said, I loved the Magnolia Park series so much. Um, and this book I'm projecting to be a 5 star. Yeah. So yeah, I ended up reading a little over 800 pages. I didn't think I was going to read that much, but I'm so glad I did. And I nearly doubled how much I read last week, which is really cool. But that's the difference in like reading things that I actually enjoy and actually want to read versus trying to force myself to read something that I didn't, while also being excited for something that I felt I would enjoy more. Yeah, so that's my week of reading. I think that is pretty realistic, to be completely honest with you, of like it's a little bit realistic but also a little bit aspirational because I do want to read more like this. The reason why like I usually don't is because I'm like watching YouTube or scrolling on my phone. So I do think that this is realistic of like what I'm capable of reading. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good evening, and most importantly, I hope you read a good book, and I'll see you when I see you.